Hey guys, Joe here. So I have to go pick up food or not food. I have to go to Walgreens. But so I've started going back surfing again, and it made me realize there's quite a few learning lessons from surfing that can opportunities and chasing after opportunities. Because what ends up happening is, and I was doing the same thing for my own business, and I'll probably continue to do the same shit for my business. Is that my business supports myself, it supports my family, it supports at this point, several families and everything else. And but I was always looking for a better opportunity. It was I didn't know they're crossing. So what ended up happening was I would take my time and attention away from, the fence company and put it towards other things that seemed like it was easier money or faster money and stuff like that. And what ended up happening is it takes a lot of time to get these new opportunities up and running for the most part, unless you have people that are already in place that can do the stuff for you. But a lot of times you don't. So you have to put all the pieces into place, get the people and the equipment and everything else. And then so what ends up happening is you all that time and attention you put towards that, you're taking away from, your core business. And like for me, knowing what I know now, I've probably left, in the past 3 years by not bringing in the proper salespeople and things like that, and spent more time, even in the beginning, if I was spending more time focusing on how to fix the sales process and stuff like that, to get it to where we are today, before we had the sales trainer and the actual salesperson, like I probably left, maybe, I don't know, 500 grand, maybe more in profit, not sales, just profit. Because I think by now, like when I talk about numbers in the business, for the most part, I'm not talking sales. I'm talking like the actual profit, because that's just more important, in my opinion. Um, and the reason why this came up with surfing is like you'll be in one spot for a few minutes, and then like nothing's coming, and but you can see like down the whole coast, like in either direction, right? So you can see down, just say a half mile in either direction, right? So you're in this little spot, you're in this 100-foot range, but yet you can see 2,500 feet in one direction and 2,500 feet in the other, and you just see all these waves breaking, right? So like you're not in one spot, so then you start, paddling out to the next spot, and then sure enough, like it always, like almost always happens, at least for me, is like when I finally get to where the other waves were breaking, well then the waves are now breaking where I was already, right? So what did this do? Well, one, I wasn't in the position again to catch that wave or that opportunity, right? Because I wasn't in time for it. And then the other thing is, I spent a lot of my energy and effort to get into that new position, right? So then when the waves do come, just say I got into that position and then immediately a wave came. Well, depending on how far I had to go, how today, like it was super windy, so depending on the direction I'm going, it could be a lot harder in one direction than it was in another. And oh, and then don't forget the tides and shit like that. And so what happened, and this it wasn't today, but there's been times where like I had to paddle and paddle and paddle. I finally get where I needed to be, and then a wave comes immediately. And there's been a few times where I literally could not get off the board because my arms were so tired. Now that's also because I'm just out of shape at this point. But it's something it's I guess it's easier said than done. It's kind of like going, like, if you keep on walking this certain path, right, that you are going to end up at a spot where there's like a bag of like $100,000, right? But at some point there's going to be like a $5 bill on the sidewalk, and then there's like another five and another five and another five, right? So instead of going towards the bank, like you might have went straight, and then at some point the dollar or the $5 bill started going to the right. So then what ends up happening is that you're completely off course, and like those $5 might end up stopping, right? So you might have picked up a grand, right? And you think you're doing really well, but you passed up $100,000 for 1,000, right? So it's the way I've been thinking about things. Again, it's easier said than done. I think it's, for me, it's more of a maturity kind of thing. I'm hoping, or maybe just finally learning my lessons of stop doing dumb shit and just keep on doing the same thing over and over, and eventually, I know I'm going to get the results that I'm looking for. Like, I know it. Like, I've already proven it. We've already seen the potential, but it's time to now just put in the work, put the blinders on, and just do the freaking work for, instead of looking at it for the next 6 months or for a year, say, you know what, I'm going to do this shit for the next 5 years, and this is my only focus. And it's really, like, it's so hard to even, like, conceive about waiting 5 years to do anything else like it is. So I think between defense company, the wholesale at this point, I really can't see us doing anything else. So I know in the past we've offered like different types of services. I'm probably not going to offer them just because it really doesn't fit into my model. Now I might start teaming up with other people. Like I have teamed up with the one guy to help out with Google My Business and SEO and stuff like that. So that we do offer just because I know he does great work, and I'm kind of there as the intermediary to make sure it gets done. But that's where we're kind of at this point. So anyway, hope these videos help. I know a lot of it's just rambling on, but like it's just. So anyway, have a great day. Talk to you soon.